Let's see. So today I am on hour almost 19, I guess, of my 50-hour experiment in practicing piano. Um, and what I want to talk about today is when you've got a practice routine that is going forward, but then the practicing itself teaches you something that you didn't know before, and then you have to make an adjustment. Specifically, when it comes to looking at my fingers as I play, the assumption that I have been making up to this point was that I wouldn't have to consciously learn how to play without looking down. It would just happen naturally because I was playing so much. That was my hope. And in particular, since reading music as I play isn't my goal, I figured it wouldn't make a difference. I think at this point that I'm wrong. I have to be able to play without looking at my fingers, because if I'm playing two-handed, I can only look at one hand at a time usually. So you have to be able to play without looking down. And does it just automatically come? Well, it hasn't yet. So my most basic warm up is the circle of fourths, as I've shown lots of times. Right? Well, let's do it with. Now I'm working on doing it without looking. So I've got this cool mirror here as part of my piano. So without looking. Getting there. Then the right hand, of course, is looking. Oops. Okay, without looking. It's harder. I just realized I'm looking at the camera and I could theoretically look down. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Uh-oh. So now when I do my warm-ups in particular, those two things, which is what I do the most of, I'm going to do it without looking. And you saw I cheated there. When I messed up, I looked down, but really want to do it by ear. And this gets me thinking, piano players usually have great ears. And it didn't occur to me that it might be, now that I'm playing without looking, I'm starting to understand why piano players have great ears. It's because the way it works is it's a conversation between how the notes feel and how they hear. And you're constantly if you look down at the piano, it's different because you can use your eyes instead of your ears. But if you're looking away, the only way to check that you're playing the right notes is to use your ears. Well, you're also how the instrument feels under your hands, but it's a conversation between those two things, so that every time you do anything as you play, if you're not looking, is yet another little ear training exercise every single time you play anything, because you're always using your ears to figure out whether you got it right or not, and also to make adjustments if it's wrong. And I'm pretty sure that that's why piano players, well, from my experience, they just tend to be great musicians often. And even you're just like any piano player is a great musician. I mean, great musicians are just very common amongst piano players, and people who are really, really good with their ears is very common with piano players. And I think that I may have just stumbled upon one of the reasons why that's the case.